my comment was it's actually against the buy it for life thing that I had talked about in the past, because there's a very specific reason why you wouldn't want to buy it for life. There are certain, so the buy it for life is you purchase a thing that is of substantially higher quality so it lasts longer, and there's an efficiency there, because if it costs three times as much and it only lasts three times as much, right? That's still good because you don't have to go and buy it again later. You don't have to waste the time, inflation or whatever the heck, right? And often you pay three times as much and it lasts four times longer, five times longer. And the notion is there are certain things that you can pay premium for or approaching premium for, because it's not like it's a popularity thing. It's just more expensive because it's more durable. It's made out of materials that are harder to come by or produce or whatever the heck. But the thing lasts for 40 years, 50 years. A leather jacket, really good boots. It might have to be resoled or something like that. So the sole on the bottom of the shoe might have to be replaced. This kind of thing. It might have to have some, might need maintenance and things like this. These things exist for all objects. You don't just throw it away. There's a lot of this kind of stuff that when it's of that quality, it can be repaired. So that is the argument where you are saving money and time, and you have a thing that is worn in, that is great for you, that has history, that literally people, they inherit these things from their grandparents. It's like, yeah, it's a literal World War II bomber jacket, which is an appropriate thing to mention on Today of All Days, right? You get something that is made for that level of quality, and it's still good now. It was it was literally well worn back then, and then it was maybe shelved and worn occasionally, and then passed down. And now it's been X number of years later. It's fantastic. You'll still be able to wear it. That's the argument for buy it for life. It's a very good argument. Okay, it's like buying things in bulk when it's not going to wear it. You buy an object, quote unquote, that one object in the bulk of years by buying better quality, and that saves you, well, money is what people should be thinking about in the long run. There is the opposite. Okay, the opposite says if you got things that do have an expiry of some sort, generally it's something like electronics, let's say. And I specifically thought about this in terms of audio equipment. There is the argument that goes, well, what you should do is you should work with what you have, because it's okay. It's adequate. But you know you need to do better. You know you will need to do much better because you have a plan that requires much better, right? Now, that's not always true. Some people just want to buy shiny, shiny best, but they're doing dumb amateur things with it, and they're never going to need that level of quality. But there are some people where they are starting small, they have budgetary concerns, and they don't want to start with the crap that they have, okay? And they say, okay, well, I'm just going to save up, and then I'm going to hurt to get really good, right? Okay? And so the argument is, well, I don't want to get the intermediate because I'm just going to have to replace it with the very good. And now I've paid that much extra. I would rather go from here to very good than from here to okay or good to then very good, because I don't want to pay that intermediate price, right? Buy it for life would be you buy the premium and that lasts for a very long time. That's the good thing, that the phrase for life microphones is actually being used in the industry by professionals or professionals who talk to help the amateurs, the people that want to become professionals. They say things like this, and that's not true. I disagree with that perspective. I disagree with that perspective even for somebody that knows they're going to be professional, that knows they're going to have to, as a requirement, get that premium item. Well, that premium is not the right word. Okay, so that thing that's closer to them, because premium is like from $400 to $3,000. So I don't mean premium out there. I mean very good, high end, or middle end, or really good professional. I mean the buy for life, right? The good stuff. Now, I am arguing that a person should go for many things. They should go from terrible but inspiring because they could do something bad with it and realize they've fallen in love with something. They find their path. They go from bad, don't go to great, go to good. Okay, go to good, continue, but with good. And it's like momentum, it's inspiration being pushed to do something that is now, that has to be elevated to take advantage of good until you earn and can justify getting great. Okay. And then you have to step up to also be great to take advantage of that. So that's one argument that is your personal quality goes up with the quality of the gear that you have. And the other is when you do achieve greatness, and if you're on the path, again, it becomes an inevitability, okay, for a lot of things. Life is weird, but, okay, let's think well of that. When you become great and you have the great gear for it, you're matched. That good in between wasn't a waste, because if great fails, you have to have a backup. And now you have a backup that's good. The backup isn't going from great to bad. Okay? That's the thing. And a lot of these people, they're professionals and they got lucky, or they forgot that, and they're giving advice to other people who will hurt or who will starve, who will save to get great. And that person with great, they might be reaching for greatness. They'll never make it right away. It's not generally a thing. But if that great and they get used to it and that's right for them, right? They make good decisions and there's a great match. And there's a problem, right? Something happens and you go to your backup. The backup is way too distant, right? If your backup computer is an old laptop from 20 years ago, yeah, you're not going to be able to do anything. You're not going to be able to maintain the lifestyle that you had or keep the promises that required that gear. And if it's something that's 5 years old, okay, maybe. But if you upgrade so infrequently that your previous generation of stuff isn't usable anymore, if you wait until you've worn your shoes down, okay, and you get brand new great shoes, if those fail for some reason, you have to walk all the way back to something that was almost worn out and is more or less useless. And that is not appropriate for situations where you have professional obligations, for example. You might be able to squeak by with a good microphone. Hopefully you made a really good choice and you can work with that really well because you have expertise. So maybe you can make do. You won't suffer, but you will not be able to make do with bad. You won't be able to do your narration job on your phone, right? That's not going to happen. And if you go from phone to $500 microphone, you've got nothing in between. And if that fails, you're done. You're on vacation and you're going to lose those clients because you couldn't fulfill same day promises. So that's the argument for not having buy it for life, specifically for things that you have to upgrade through. That doesn't exactly apply to something like a jacket or boots, but it will definitely apply to computers and definitely for in the audio industry, voiceovers, narration, stuff like that.